Right, so this video is a tag video. 8 questions, and I was tagged by Mad Dog Survival. So if you've never heard of his channel or whatever, definitely check it out. He's a really decent bloke, friendly bloke, proper likeable character, and he also knows his stuff. So have a look at his. I'll put a bit of footage up of his channel on. Yeah, so Mad Dog had tagged me in the 8 question tag thing. So cheers for that, mate, appreciate that. And check his channel out. So I'll go to the questions and then, you know, we'll go through them. So it's 8 questions. So the first one is most memorable camp. Well, I've got probably 2 most memorable camps, and part of the reason for this is part of question 2 as well. So I hadn't been camping for years, and a bloke called Daz, who on here is called Mickey O'Ryu, he'd asked me to go camping, and I said yeah, I went camping with him. I hadn't been for quite a few years, and so like I said, I hadn't been for a long time, and it was going camping essentially with someone who I'd only ever spoken to on the internet. Never met him in person. The good thing was, luckily it turned out he was a decent bloke. And we camped in my local woods, middle of summer. Strange thing was, the day before he arrived, I went down there and dropped a load of water down there, because there's no water down there at all, no rivers. So I dropped water down there. When I came back, in the morning he was coming, I was having a shower, I looked on my leg and I had a tick on my leg, and that was the first tick I'd ever had as well. So all proper weird. Went camping, it was all alright and that, and one night it absolutely thunder and lightning, and came down with torrential rain, but it was good. We had you know, our tarps over, and instead of sleeping in a hammock, I slept in like a raised bed, like a stretcher bed. And I'm not going to lie, it was the most uncomfortable sleep I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely awful. So after that I got a hammock. So that was one of the most memorable. And then the other one was in exactly the same place, but with Paul and Daz. So 2 people, because that then led, this was not long after, it then led on to a bloke called Paul. He came as well, and that was decent. But the thing was, that one, the first night he come up, we all had a bit of booze, and I don't normally drink at all, and I drank way too much and got paralytic the first night, and then was actually unconscious. And then for the rest of it I had a terrible hangover for you know, but it was good. I'll never forget both of them. And to be honest, the third time I went with them 2 again. We went to Paul's place. I'll never forget that either. All good times, you know, and it was something which a lot of people might not do, you know, just go. You know, I'd never met Paul in my life, and I'd never met Daz. I'd only spoken to him online, and then we met up. But normally, you can tell if people's alright or not, you know. So that's the first question, and then the second one is related, and the reason I hadn't been camping for a while. So the second question is, solo or group camping? Well, for me, group camping, or at least with one other person. Now, it's a really weird thing. In life, I love to just be on my own and just do whatever, and you know, do what I want to do. Quite happily sit on my own, or get left on a job doing whatever on my own. But when it comes to camping, every time I've done it, it never feels right doing it on your own. Not at all. Just feels boring and like there's nothing really to do. Seems much better when there's other people there. So for me, group camping. So third question, favourite knife. So I think 99% sure this one is my favourite knife. And it's the Castrum number 10 Swedish forest knife. I think it's got curly birch handle. Really decent knife. I've not got another knife which is like this. Unique kind of handle shape. Well, you know, for me it is. It's a nice knife, really nice. That's probably my favourite. Not that I carry that a lot, you know. Little thing like a Swiss Army knife I carry all the time. So I suppose out of non-locking knives, something like a Swiss Army knife is my favourite. It must be when you carry it all the time. So that's question 3. So question 4. Where did you learn your bushcraft skills? Now this is a bit of a weird one, but hear me out. I say a weird one because I know a lot of people kind of disagree with this type of thing. But in my opinion, if you ask me, it's from reading books and watching stuff. It was more television back then. There was, you know, we didn't have the internet and stuff like that. Not that I could, you know, watch things like that. But watching the telly, people like Ray Mears, Les Hiddens and that, because Bear Grylls weren't around then either, and reading books. But that's not the end of it. So watching telly, reading books, and then trying it. So I didn't just read a book and think, oh, I can do that, I'm an expert at that. You know, not at all in the slightest, but I read a book on how to do something and then went out in the woods and tried it. And then tried it again. You know, and you might fail and then try it again until you can do it. Then keep trying it. But otherwise, I don't know, you know, I never knew no one who was into it. No one whatsoever. You know, personally, except for people on the internet I've met, I don't actually know anybody else who's into it, really. Not round here. So reading something and then trying it, same as like the trap stuff, reading a book about stuff and then actually trying it. And then once you actually tried it, you know you've tried it and whether it kind of works or not. So that was question 4. So question 5, favourite fire lighting method? If it's for quick and easiness, then a lighter. But you know, if you want something which is definitely reliable, then I'll always take a ferro rod. So I would take a lighter if it needs to be quick and easy, a lighter. If not, a ferro rod. So either it's a toss up between a ferro rod and a lighter, but I'd probably say lighter. Most essential part of my kit. This is question 6. So here's a weird one. Right. This is always a toss-up for me. So if I'm going out in the woods to go camping, if you're talking about that, going out in the woods kind of bushcrafting, oh, I don't know, it's quite a hard one. I was gonna, well, I won't go on that because that's getting slightly complicated. So, it's quite a hard one thinking about it. Because, you know, you could just go on the survival aspect. So you say a knife or whatever. Or I half the time say a cup or a knife. But if it was just, say, going kind of bushcraft camping, the most essential piece of kit... I'm just going to have a think about that one. Well, the most essential piece of kit, if we're talking about kind of just bushcraft camping, and it's probably, oh, I don't know, so hard to say, because you need everything. You know, if you're going camping and you want to put your tarp up, hammock up, you want to go hammock camping, then is your hammock the most essential thing, if that's the reason you're going out to do it. You know, if you're going out to build a shelter, then his cord is going to be your most essential thing. It's a bit of a hard one, but it's either a toss-up between a metal cup or a knife. And if I was going to choose the two of those two, if it was going bushcraft camping, you know, nothing, you know, too strenuous or survivalish, then it'd be a metal cup. If it was survival, it'd probably be maybe the knife, or it could be the cup. Because the thing is, you know, and while a knife can do many things, a knife can be replicated in the woods with flint and stuff like that. Whereas a metal cup, an actual metal cup, you're going to have a hard time replicating that, you know, with wood yeah, you can make a wooden bowl and then rock boil, but that's still not the same as just pouring water in a metal cup and boiling it, if you know what I mean. So a metal cup is hard to replicate, so that's one thing I always think is important. One of those two anyway. That's question 6. So question 7, do you carry a bug out bag in your car? Well, no, because I don't have a car. But when I go to work in someone else's van, I do have a small survival kit in my work bag all the time. So if I had a car, then I probably would, but I don't have a car, so I haven't got one in there. I do have one in my bag. Right, question 8. What type of cooking do you prefer? To be honest, I've watched Mad Dog's video and I'm the complete opposite to him, to be honest. I like anything, especially if I'm outside in the woods, anything quick and easy, minimal effort, but does fill you up, if you know what I mean. So anything kind of where you've just got to pour water in something and boil it, or just chuck something in a pan, fry it and done. To be honest, that's all of my life, to be honest. I'm a kind of instant gratification person. I want it now and I want it straight away. So normally when I go camping, it will be all stuff which is easy to cook, very little preparation, and stuff where you don't have to cut things up and you don't have to wash your hands afterwards. So things like raw chicken and stuff like that, never ever would I take. Or anything that needs a lot of preparation. Maybe cooked chicken I might take, or things like that, but nothing where you've got to use two things, where you've got to use a lot of water to cook it and a lot of preparation is what I don't have, and things where you've got to constantly wash things up. So you've got to cut things up and you've got to wash all your knife in water, wash all your pans up, wash your hands, purely because it's just, where I go camping, it's just a waste of water, and all water's got to be carried with you. Well, unless it pours down the rain. So the type of cooking for me personally is quick, easy, very little preparation. So that's the 8 questions. I hope that kind of made sense. If you've got any questions, just ask me. So it says to tag 5 people. And I normally always tag the same people, but one of them I probably would have tagged Mad Dog in this, but he's already tagged me and he's already done it. So I'm going to tag 5 slightly different people this time, what I normally do. And this isn't, you haven't got to do it. If you haven't got time, that's fair enough. You don't want to do it, that's fair enough. So I'm going to tag, like I said, only if you can do it. Bushcraft and fishing with the pikey, Clan Gun Bushcraft, Die Bullfrog 79, Arthur Brem, and So Steve. So hopefully you see that. So Bushcraft and fishing with a pikey, Clan Gun Bushcraft, Die Bullfrog 79, Arthur Brem, and So Steve. Right, thanks a lot, Mad Dog, for tagging me. I really appreciate that. Can't say thank you enough, mate. So, cheers for watching. I'll see you later.